We have all done it, the dreaded misinterpreted electronic message. Whether being email or text, communicating virtually definitely has its cons along with pros. From the email that you may have sent your boss the other day, or the text that you just received from your boyfriend or girlfriend that you nervously don't understand right away, we are constantly misinterpreting virtual communication on a daily basis. Virtual communication began as early as the telegraph, but really took off in the 1990s with the further development of high-tech internet that gave ability to nearly instant messaging, emails, voice calls, and teleconferences. The rise of virtual communication has also caused an increase in misinterpreted messages by others due to common communication components that may be missing or not fully understood by others. The lack of body language and facial expression that is used to communicate face-to-face has been replaced with emoticons while communicating virtually. Body language and expressions are important with interpreting messages from others. We are capable of understanding if another person is upset or happy, depending on body language and facial expression. Emoticons have helped replace the absence of significant components of language that may help interpret a special meaning to a message. Hamster, Imler, and Kramer of the Department of Psychology, University of Duisburg-Essen in Germany, reported in a 2012 study that empirical studies on the effects of emoticons suggest that they are similarly interpreted and fulfill similar functions to nonverbal behavior in face-to-face situations as they, for example, positively influence the user's mood. Further misinterpretations of the message can be prevented by the use of emoticons. Misinterpretation of virtual communication in text, for example, could begin with one person joking or attempting to create irony. Thompson, Mackenzie, Leuthold, and Filkick from universities of Nottingham and Tübingen stated that basic function of irony to communicate the opposite of what is said. This indirection can make ironic language harder to understand than literal language and increase the chances of misinterpretation. While using emoticons can be fun while communicating virtually, is it realistic to use them in creating irony or thought through nonverbal communication? It may be better to avoid using emoticons to decrease changes in confusion and temperament. The difference between men and women can lead to differences in interpretation of communication. Men at times have less to say than women and seem to desire to get the message across more directly, when women sometimes feel the need to communicate effective and simultaneously to understand the message or to feel that they have gotten their message across effectively. Psychologist Haferkamp et al. Described gender online difference by noting that with regard to gender online behavior, ComScore data of February 11 revealed that women spend 10% more time on social networking sites than men and are also more active in composing profiles. Lack in simultaneous communication responses may be interpreted as rude and odd behavior to females when it is overall a natural behavior of men not to spend so much time on social networking sites and virtual communication. Another possible misinterpretation communication can be due to cultural differences. People from all over the world grow up in different cultural environments. The way communication is conducted is an important part of communicating with others. Some gestures in one culture may be indicated as positive or can be interpreted as negative or offensive in another culture. Don't assume you know who you are talking to and that they will be efficient in understanding your communication style. Avoiding offensive words or emoticons at first may be beneficial when communicating with someone from another culture. Body language and facial expression is unavailable during certain virtual communications unless doing a live face-to-face video. It is important during these times to understand other cultures' view on body language and eye contact to avoid offending someone. In conclusion, the rise of virtual communication has caused an increase in misinterpreted messages from others due to common communication components that may be missing. Some things to keep in mind during virtual communication is the use of emoticons should be used appropriately during texting or email, and that attempting to understand what the receiving person will interpret your emoticon as if you're attempting to use humor. Understanding differences and interpretation related to gender is also important in attempting to communicate. Being able to identify the differences between two people of opposite genders may help communication come across more effectively and help avoid misunderstanding and help you respond in a timely manner. One more important key to remember is that we are all culturally different. When speaking to another person, always be courteous and attempt to familiarize yourself with their traditions and values. Our day-to-day lives are always involved in one form of virtual communication, whether it's texting throughout the day, corresponding through emails, or having a live teleconference with others. It is important to understand the differences in virtual communication styles and respond effectively in a timely manner. Avoid misinterpreting messages in this never-ending world of virtual communication is going to be a good thing for you.